Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 13th through the 19th, and during that time, we will have a full moon on the 13th, and that could be a time of heightened emotions, could be prone to being overwhelmed and feeling a little anxious, maybe a little snappy, irritable, and you may have changes in your sleeping pattern. I know that's something that I experience myself. So it's just a really good time to practice patience and calm, a really good opportunity that you get every month to practice that. So that's a gift. And then we do move into the waning gibbous energy, and that's a really good time for self-reflection. It's a time of rebirth and just accomplishing things, getting rid of negative, negative thoughts, feelings, habits, that sort of thing. So please keep those moon energies in mind as you move through your week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, your overall message card for this reading: your dreams need a practical plan. All right, well, ever present Capricorn, ever practical. Not shocked that that is a card that would come out for you guys. All right. Capricorn, as I am shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that like and maybe the subscribe button. It really helps my channel and it's super, super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment to do that right now. Thank you so, so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I'm noticing the repeating people coming back, and I just want to say thank you. I see you and I do appreciate you. All right, my other weekly reminder would be to notice the world around you, not just this week, of course, but every week as the universe tosses out those breadcrumbs of synchronicities for you. This could come in the way of animals or, repeating numbers that you're seeing, all around. Songs that you maybe overhear, or maybe a conversation you hear as you're walking by. So please pay attention to those things. And those are just clues for you, as the universe tries to show you some clarity and just little hints on your unique path. And of course, if you're comfortable sharing, if you have synchronicities that you see a lot, leave me a comment down below and let me know. There's certain things I do have days where I see I'm real big on the number 4, and some days I just cannot escape it. It is everywhere. I had one of those days yesterday. It's just everywhere I look, they're everywhere. So, um, I just find that so curious. But anyway, just my little message for the week. Okay, Capricorn, April 13th through 19. Your dreams need a practical plan. All right, your overall present energy is you're kind of feeling like you against the world. So maybe that's why your dreams need a practical plan. You may feel like you're kind of doing everything yourself, that you're, maybe butting up against, other people's, not only thoughts and ideas, but you feel like they're um, kind of working against you a little bit. Whatever the situation, this could be in your job, this could be in, just anything that you're involved with, that you're like, why am I pushing back against these people so hard? Why doesn't anybody understand me? So it's that kind of energy. Your current situation is some judgment. So it could be that maybe you are in a place where you're getting judged, or you're feeling like you're judging these other people, of course. So you're either feeling the weight of some sort of judgment, there, and only really you can answer that right now. But that's something that's in your realm right now, is facing judgment. You're not the only one. I feel like that card was pretty big in the Sagittarius reading. So if you have a Sagittarian around you, that you're in close relationship with, you may want to watch their reading as well. What is at the root of your situation is the devil. So here's the devil throwing out those false truths, those, you know, making you feel like, it's really pulling your insecurities to the forefront. And again, if you're feeling judged about it, you're also, you're facing this devil energy too, which is, I believe Capricorn is this card as well. I really Need to study up on the astrology of the tarot. Like, I know them, I can't remember them. Anyway, but it's kind of, I always say when it comes to the devil card, that it's the devil asking you. It's really questioning you and kind of putting that self-doubt on you. It's the devil looking at you and saying, "Oh, yeah, you thought you could do this. No, look, nobody agrees with you." Um, and there's a reason. There's a reason. They're judging you. So take a breath. Take a breath when it comes to whatever the root of that devil, what he's trying to bring up for you that isn't true. It isn't real. It's things that's coming into your mind to kind of throw you off course. This could also come up in the way of dependency. If there's something that you're relying on, if there's some chemical or drink or something that you are relying on that, that maybe there is some judgment upon you and you're feeling, someone's kind of brought that up for you and brought it to the forefront and said, "Hey, you're drinking too much. You're doing this to me." Someone who's kind of trying to be a friend, and but that's something you could be encountering too. That devil's at the root. So whether it's a some self-defeating thing that you're doing or just self-defeating thoughts, it is time to take some time to think about those. In your recent past is the Ace of Swords. So you've recently had some sort of aha moment, and it could be about this. It could be about some sort of dependency, and you are making a judgment, and you are feeling like, I'm going to fight this, and it's me against the world. A lot of times, if you're facing something when it comes to some sort of dependency, and maybe, and let's just use as an example, let's say it is alcohol, and you decide, what, I'm not going to drink, I'm going to put that aside, but all of your friends still drink, and so you do kind of have that, well, what, are you better than us? Where maybe they don't understand, maybe they don't have a problem with it, and you are seeing your issue with it, if that makes sense. And but just kind of, that friend that wants to, hey, do you want a shot? Or kind of that devil tempting, right? Let me grab a drink real quick. And because my throat suddenly went dry when I was telling you that, I would say speak up to that person and tell them, just be honest and say, "Hey, listen, I'm quitting drinking, and please don't offer me that. Don't kind of stand up for yourself if you're feeling like it's you against the world in that way." What is on your mind this week is feeling like the wounded warrior here. You're looking back on your past and thinking, "Well, I've really been through it." Look at all these wands in this reading. Excuse me. And again, I'm getting this tickle in my throat. You are going to have to speak up. You're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to speak up to the people around you, these wands around you, whoever's holding on to these and coming at you. That's fire. That's fire coming at you, and it's you holding on to your fire in both of these situations. Do not let it go. Speak up. Say the things that you need to say. Whether this is self judgment or others judging you, you're just going to have to really kind of be tough and manage that this week. What is just ahead of you is the Queen of Pentacles. So you're also going to have this understanding of the world around you, and this could just be a new understanding that you're coming into as you're making these changes. And again, I'm using drinking as an example. That doesn't have to be any kind of dependency that you have on. This could be a dependency on relationships. It could be this could come in the form of like a fear of success, that it's holding you back. And it could just be a mindset. So, but you're kind of coming into this understanding of how the world works and how the material world works. And it could be that it's helping you to release some of this self-doubt and some of these things that this devil card represents. In your advice position is the High Priestess card. So this definitely means trust your subconscious, trust your intuition, definitely go within to get guidance. This means that you do need to pray and meditate to get through this. This is finding truth, but it's finding the truth within. It's not out there. um you know like it's like the Wizard of Oz. Everything that you need to know, it's right inside of you. It's all in there. You just need to access it. So take that time this week to kind of go within. And if this stuff seems a little chaotic, which it does to me, this seems like a lot of chaos and that there's other people involved, it may be time to just get away a little bit and just go within. Just be with your own thoughts for a little bit instead of everyone else's opinion and all that, all these other thoughts and things kind of muddying the waters of where you want to go, and get inside of yourself so that you can, just develop your sense of where it is that you do want to go, and have the calmness and the quiet to just listen to yourself. What is beyond your control this week is the Knight of Swords. So these things are happening very quickly. Things are just happening quickly, and it's just a little bit out of control. If you look at the face of this horse right here, that he's like, what is happening right now? Where are we going? What is happening? So calm down. And again, that's back to this high priestess. Take a minute to just get away. Get away. Your dreams need a practical plan, and you may need to develop this plan. And that's what this going within. And again, watching for those synchronicities. The universe is there to guide you. And those messages are around you this week. Just pay attention to those. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Knight of Pentacles. So some sort of action in the material world. And you could be trying to avoid that. You're coming to an understanding of it, or it could be your secret desire is like, it's time to make a change. Is it time to make a change in your material world? Is that this could be something like a new job. This could also be something like a new place to live. It could be that you need to get away from something to, if this is the situation that you're in, that you need to change your material surroundings so that you're in a better place. Um, but that's your big question for the week. Is that your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid making some sort of change or having some sort of action in your material world? And only you can answer that. And of course, you're not going to be able to answer it unless you can take that quiet time to go within and ask yourself what it is that you really want. Your outcome situation is the 10 of Swords, which tells me that whatever this is, you are done. You are done with it. You're done messing around. So that's your big question. Can you survive in the situation when it comes to your material world? That's your big question. Or do you need a change of scenery? Do you need some sort of change somehow? And this could be just a change in the people that you hang out with. This could be literally a change of a job or a change of a home situation. You might want to move to, if you're in an apartment, you may want to move to a different apartment so that you're not around certain people. So go within this week. That's your advice. Really go within and answer this question: is do you need a change in your material world? What is being hidden from you this week is some indecision here with the Two of Swords. So this tells me that you are going to be able to make decisions and be very decisive. Once you get to the point, and that could be what this sword is here, is that you make a decision and look out, because you're on it and you're ready to make changes, and put that practical plan that you've been coming up with into place and into action. All right, let's get some final words here for Capricorn, April 13th through 19. Keep your commitments. So whatever you do have going on, let's we're not doing things like calling off work or backing out of things that you had planned through this. Even though you do need some quiet time, if you've made commitments, go ahead and keep those. You can find other time in there to get that quiet time, and become a clear channel, which is the card. I don't think I've ever seen this card come out in a group reading like this. So become a clear channel. What is it that you want? Know what you want, and then you just do it. You just start making those changes. And if that means you have to sit down in this time and make a list, here's what I'm going to change. The things that I'm doing right now, they're not serving my end goal that I want. And Capricorns, you tend to be very goal oriented, and you know how to do this. I've known Capricorns, and when they set their minds to do something, you guys can make a list, lay out a plan, and bam, 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 you turn around and that is done. So that's definitely a Capricorn thing. And I've seen you guys do it time and time again. I have no doubt that you will do it when it comes to this situation. So, Capricorn, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I do hope there was something that you can take away in this reading and use. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, please leave me a comment down below and let me know what it is, what you guys are going through. That helps me help you. And if you have any questions about this reading, of course, you can ask them there in the comments and I will get back to you and answer. I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this situation continues or if you have a completely new energy here for next week. And of course, if you like my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and I appreciate that so, so much. And most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thank you so much, Capricorn, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.